After Dark show for February 4th, 2024. Thought I'd look at the some early picks and props for the Super Bowl 58 coming up. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a show tonight. I was so tired. I like passed out on the couch. I figured like why not? I was actually woke up and I was like browsing through FanDuel, just looking at props. I'm like, I might as well do a show about this and see if we could come up with anything. So yeah, I thought I'd just do like a quick show here and just look at some props and kind of think about what we're going to bet for next week. As usual, we're going to have our normal lineup next week. Tomorrow, Tuesday is going to be with Jacob doing our picks and props. Wednesday with Kenny, we're going to do DFS. Thursday thoughts with Tommy. So we're going to have picks and props as well with Tom. Eager to hear what both he and Jacob have for the Super Bowl. And then Saturday notes as usual next week. So yeah, so it's a full lineup next week. Yeah, let's get it going. So if you can, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, and share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would mean a lot to us. If you really want to help support the show, I think we're 62 shy of 4,000 still. Let me see real quick. We're 61 shy, so we're quickly quickly moving toward that goal. If you really want to help us get there by the Super Bowl, it'd be awesome. I think I'm gonna have to start begging though on Twitter. So if you don't want to see me beg, please hit subscribe. But I guess if you do want to see me beg, don't hit subscribe and wait till I beg on Twitter. So and also if you guys really want to help support the show, we have super chats as well. We don't make anything on YouTube ads, so that would help us out a lot. And yeah, if you guys have any comments or whatever, it doesn't even have to be about the Super Bowl. It doesn't have to be about football. I will answer anything as usual on Saturday. No guests tonight, so I don't have to worry about getting anyone in trouble. I cannot be fired. Technically, I can fire myself. It'd be weird, but yeah. So I can't get in troubles here. So I'll answer anything you guys have. Okay, let's first for the game. So the line has moved to 2 in a lot of places. It's 2.5. I saw on FanDuel it's 2.5 minus 105. I think. Yeah, it's minus 2.5 minus 105. I think there's minus 2.5 minus 110 in some books. Looks like sharp money's on San Francisco. That's at least what I was told. But it could be phantom movement. Like this could be a push by the sharps to get it to 3 so they can hammer the Chiefs. Like that's still possible. So it's not like the sharps are locked into San Francisco or anything, but that's the direction it's looking at right now. And we know that the public's on the Chiefs, at least like more than 70% of the bets are coming in on Kansas City already. It's not a surprise at all. I think that like people are looking at San Francisco almost losing to Green Bay, almost losing to Detroit, and wondering like, hey, does San Francisco really belong here? Like they could have lost twice already. Whereas like the Chiefs had more of a convincing victory against Baltimore, even though like the Ravens did screw up a lot. They did beat Baltimore. They beat Miami convincingly too. The Buffalo game could have gone either way, but still, 2 of the 3 games I think were more impressive than what San Francisco did, at least to the public. However, I would caution the public because I think Detroit and Green Bay were 2 really good teams. And Baltimore was as well, obviously, but I just like Baltimore they just had a horrible game plan. Like they ran so few times, and like Lamar Jackson scrambled only 8 times. Zay Flowers had that fumble. Like it seemed like Baltimore just really played their worst game. And I think if you play that game 10 times, I think Baltimore definitely wins at least 6 out of 10. So I would caution the public on Kansas City. Kansas City has been bad all year, and like suddenly they're good. Like I don't know. I'm not buying it for 2 games, or I guess 3 games in the playoffs. That Miami game, the Dolphins are missing like half their defense, and they were playing in the cold. Against Buffalo, the Bills are missing half their defense, and the Bills still nearly won. And then the Ravens, like I said, they screwed up so many times. I just don't know if I believe in the Chiefs just yet. Like the public does at least. So like right now I'm leaning towards San Francisco. I haven't posted my official pick yet, but that's where I'm leaning right now. But I could change by Tuesday. I haven't like really broken down the game yet. I was going to do that tomorrow night. So I'm actually like in the process of writing my Monday night conversation. It's like it's the final one, obviously. And obviously Kevin Riley needs to find a singer girlfriend for this game where his mom loses the bet with her hair salon friends. So it's an interesting finale, I think. Looking forward to posting that. But yeah, let's look at some props here. So let's scroll. We're gonna scroll from left to right. So Super Bowl. Yeah, this is what I was saying before. Niners are -2.5, -105. Chiefs are +2.5, -115. I think that's I'd rather have the -2, -110. I don't know, like the reduced vig is okay, but actually I think on bookmaker it's -2, -108. Let me just make sure real quick. Yeah, San Francisco -2, -108 on bookmaker. I think that's the best line right now. Jesse saying people hung up on Mahomes as a dog again. Agree with you, Walt. Yeah, I think so too. I think people are looking at the Chiefs. More impressive wins, quote unquote, and B, they're like, Mahomes is an underdog. Like, of course he's gonna win, and I would be lying to you if I said that wasn't appealing. Like, yeah, you get points with Patrick Mahomes for sure, but I think that he's not like an underdog of more than 3 points. You don't get the key number of 3. And so I think San Francisco on the right side, but like I said, I want to really handicap this game on Sunday night. So that's what I'm gonna do Sunday night, and I'll have my official pick on Tuesday, and and Jacob and I will talk about it Tuesday night as well. So anytime touchdown score. Actually, let's just keep scrolling left to right. So Super Bowl specials. They have a bunch of these here, like Mahomes and Brock Purdy will combine for 50 plus rushing yards. I don't like these like tailor-made bets that they come up with. I feel like they're just there to take advantage of the public. I'd never look at these. Coin toss, heads is -104, tails -104. If you bet this, you are a true degenerate. Like, I really don't see, like, there's no inside information. You can be like, wait, the ref tossing this coin is heads 53% of the time. Like, it doesn't matter, unless you're like Edgar Figaro, and maybe you can make a bet on heads. But like, I don't like. I just don't see a point to this outside of just, hey, we're just going to gamble. It's kind of, I guess it's like, I don't know, people do play roulette and whatnot. Like that's completely gambling as well. So I don't know. I'd rather bet on something like that I can handicap. But you can't really handicap heads or tails. I don't know. You can say tails never fails, but it does fail quite a bit, half the time at least. Any player to record an octopus. This actually happened last year. Jalen Hurts got an octopus. That's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on the same drive. It's almost 10-1. Not sure. Like, it doesn't. I don't know. Like, Jalen Hurts is like a good bet. I know Eitan Shander of Odd Chopper recommended that last year. And it made sense because Jalen Hurts would run in quite a few times, and then like on the 2-point conversion, he could also scramble. So like it worked for him. Whereas like Patrick Mahomes doesn't run as much as he used to. He still runs like a little bit, but like not nearly as much. And then like you'd have to have him to like do the 2-point conversion as well. Like I just don't see that happening. So I like accepting is like almost 10-1 feels. I just wouldn't go that route. Sue and Red Eye says, how significant is the loss of Chiefs defensive lineman Omenahu? Is he their second best defensive lineman? I don't think he's like that much of a loss. Honestly, I want to look at let's see how much he's played. He's I don't think he plays that much. Yeah, like he played about he missed half the season. He plays about like 60% of the snaps. He's a decent player, but like it's not like a huge loss for them by any means. Like they still have George Karlaftis, they still have Michael Dana, they still have some good defensive linemen. This is not like Chris Jones just missing this game. If it was Chris Jones, like that would be a huge factor, but I don't think Amenahu was that much of a deal. Jesse says, my favorite prop is Purdy over 2.5 carries. Also, like his rushing yards prop over. Even Tua had 3 carries for 25 yards in that freezing cold game. I wonder, I wonder what the number is. Let's see if like player props. Let's see if we can find. Purdy rushing yards. The over is 12 and a half. So let's look at, I wanted to pull up the stats here. We're looking at DraftKings here. Let's zoom in. Rushing yards, he had 48 and then 14 in the 2 playoff games. Before that, he had like 4-2, 0, 7, 9, 1, 14. He had some big ones here, but like mostly under 10. So the thing about the playoffs is like scrambling quarterbacks will go over more often than not. I wouldn't qualify Purdy as a scrambling quarterback, but he could definitely move. Like he scrambled 11 times in these 2 games, and like this is everything. Like this is his whole career on the line here. You know, like if he wins the Super Bowl, like that's like the pinnacle of his whole career. So he's going to be doing anything he can to get there. So yeah, I think I'm on board with you with the over 12 and a half rushing yards. That makes sense. And over 2.5 carries, as you said. Because like it's so funny that the number of carries will skyrocket in the playoffs. So you have like 6 and 5, but in the regular season you have 1, 1, 0, 2, 2, 3, 4, 0. You had 6, 5, and 3. That's funny. That was a losing streak when Trent Williams was out. I guess he had to scramble more out of the pocket. But 0, 2, 4, 3, 3. Yeah, I think I'm on board with the over 2.5. I think that makes a lot of sense. Had to lay minus 176 at Will Hill. Oh, that's a tough number, but I think it might get there. And then look at Chiefs last 5 games versus quarterback rushing stats. Well, I know, yeah. Well, you point out too. I know Josh Allen hit the over as well. But Lamar Jackson didn't hit the over, but that was a high number to begin with. So, yeah, that makes sense. It's a good call. I think I'd be interested in betting that. All right, let's see here. Okay, where were we? I think we're still on their specials. The octopus. Yeah, I don't think I'd put yes on the octopus, but no is minus 2,500, so I would not recommend that. Okay. Touchdown, anytime touchdown scorer. So I was looking at like when I kind of woke up, like McCaffrey minus 220. It's a tough number to lay, but he probably scored. I mean, he's just a touchdown machine. Of course, he probably scores. I think that I was looking at like George Kittle plus 170 is kind of interesting. It feels like, you know, he could have like a not a great receiving game and still score a touchdown. Just because like tight ends, so what they usually do, like they'll like do nothing and then they'll score a touchdown. That's what they do in a nutshell. So, Noah Gray 9-1. It's okay. I'm not really seeing much else here. You can go like I think Debo is more likely to score than Brandon Ayuk if L'Jarius Sneed is on Ayuk, which I think is going to happen. I don't know for sure. But I think Debo being plus 145 compared to Ayuk plus 155, I think I'd take the plus 145 there. Rashee Rice plus 140 is okay. Nothing really stands out though. And these numbers are pretty tight. If you want to take a long shot, I think Noah Gray 9-1. I wonder how many times Noah Gray has scored. Let's check it out. Noah Gray has 2 touchdowns on the year, so maybe 9-1 isn't all that great. I guess like he's played 18. How many games has he played? He's played 17. Well, I don't know if he's played every game. It looks like he has, I guess. He's played 17 games plus the 3 playoff games. So he scored 2 out of 20. So that's 1 out of 10 times. And so you're getting 9-1. It's like the number's about right. So if you want to take a long shot, I think that's like priced like pretty well. So, yeah, like I don't know, like you want to just have some fun and just root for Noah Gray to score a touchdown. I get 9-1's not bad. Mahomes anytime touchdown intrigues me at anything plus 300 or above. Got plus 333 at William Hill. What was it here? It was Mahomes was plus 350 at FanDuel. So you're getting a better number here. Let's see Mahomes' rushing stats, which I guess like are more enhanced in the playoffs. But he has, how many times has he scored a rushing touchdown this year? He has not scored a rushing touchdown at all this year. Wow. I thought for sure he would score like 1 or 2. He hasn't scored a single rushing touchdown this year. Which like doesn't mean he can't do it. Obviously he still runs like 6 times 2, 4, 10. Yeah. I mean, he could definitely get into the end zone. And like this is obviously this is it. Like he's not gonna play another game for another 7 months. So at plus 350, it seems okay. It's just so strange that he hasn't scored a rushing touchdown. I would have guessed like two, if I had to guess, but that's interesting. Yeah, the due factor. Yeah, yeah, he is due, right? I mean, like it seems more likely than not that he would score a touchdown, at least one within 20 games. Alex says, "Hey Walter, unrelated, but pretty surprising. No one picked up Mike Vrabel as head coach." Well, I mean, feel free to ask any unrelated questions here. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that, but then again, I was surprised that Tennessee fired Vrabel to begin with. I don't really understand. Like he did such a great job in Tennessee, and some of the coaches who have been hired, I think, are not as good as Vrabel. So, um, maybe you can use a year off. And like if I were him, and like the last two jobs are Washington and Seattle, like I don't think I'd want to take those jobs. I mean, he had a rough time in Tennessee with his quarterbacking. Like he had Ryan Tannehill for most of his tenure, and there was Mariota as well. And then he had Will Levis at the end. Like none of those guys are good. And then like if he goes to Washington, I guess like you have either Drake May or Jaden Daniels, but like it's still a rookie and you never know how they're going to do. Plus, like Washington's front office or their ownership is just a disaster. And then Seattle, you have an aging Geno Smith. Like who knows what's going to happen with him? I don't know if like if I were Vrabel, I wouldn't be too upset that I got those jobs because like there could be some really good jobs that open up next year. Like Dallas could be open, the Eagles could be open. I don't like, and what if Andy Reid retires soon? Like that could be open, it feels like there are going to be better jobs open next offseason or maybe the one after that. So, if I'm Vrabel, I'm not feeling too bad. Yeah, like Arthur Smith getting go see at Pittsburgh. What a joke. Yeah. So I don't understand what they're thinking there. And apparently, the Raiders were going to hire Cliff Kingsbury, but apparently that is not going to happen because Kingsbury might go to Washington. It's like, all right, well, the Raiders lucked out there because they didn't get him. But then again, they also interviewed Chip Kelly, so like, I guess either way, they're getting a bad coach. I don't really understand why these retreads keep getting hired over and over again. Just like you think like teams would try to figure out something new, but apparently they're just stuck in this like quagmire of like bad coaching. And Charlie Campbell said it best. I don't know where he said it, but like I think it was even on here on the channel on his own when he was talking. But he said he made a good point where like he said that like owners care most about just like guys or coaches who just sound good to the media and like won't create like a ruckus or anything like that or won't embarrass them. They just want like a good like company man who just like toe the line and just like sound good and like not really screw up a lot. So like maybe that's why they just are not willing to take chances with new guys. Like they don't want to take the risk and like hire someone who is going to be a distraction or something like that, or just make the team look bad or give bad PR to the team and like maybe lose advertising. So if like someone interviews poorly, like they just won't hire them, even though like that coach might be better for the team. Okay, so let's get back to where I was before. So yeah, anytime touchdown, Mahomes plus 350. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Like I said, like it's weird that he hasn't scored yet, but it feels like he easily could. I mean, he runs quite a bit. Jersey number of first touchdown score. I don't even know the jersey numbers. I'm the worst when it comes to jersey numbers. I know like the obvious ones like Brady was like 12. But like I don't know if I could name like 10 jersey numbers. I'm so horrible with them. I just don't care. I don't care what the numbers are. Plus, like the players changed their jersey numbers a lot in the past couple of years because they were able to take whatever number they wanted. So I was already bad with it to begin with, and like so I don't even know who's over under 19 and a half. Like I have no idea. I don't think I can name Patrick Mahomes' jersey number. I have no idea what it is, to be honest. It's like like to quote Kenny, if someone held a gun to your head and asked you to bet $1 on what Mahomes' jersey number is, I think I'd lose the dollar like pretty easily. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I don't know. I just never paid attention to that stuff. Any player to score 2+ touchdowns is minus 185. I mean, McCaffrey is the guy who most likely would do it. But like if I'm going to do this, I'd rather just bet McCaffrey to score 2 touchdowns. Because I like theoretically it could be like Pacheco or Kelsey, but if it's going to be anyone, it's probably going to be McCaffrey. So I think I'd just rather just bet McCaffrey to do it. I'm not going to bet this one. Any player to score 3 touchdowns is 5-1. That's a tough ask. Like it could happen. Would it happen 1 out of 5 times? Maybe. I don't know. I don't like this one. Team with first touchdown pass in the game: Chiefs -125, Niners +100. I think I'd rather just take the Niners there, honestly. I guess like it's more likely McCaffrey scores for the Niners, I suppose. But like if you're getting a better number, I think I'd rather just go that route. Position to score first touchdown: running back is +145, receiver +175, tight end +350, quarterback 10-1. Yeah, I think I just wonder how this compares to like McCaffrey scoring the first touchdown. Like, why wouldn't you just do that? You know, obviously Pacheco could be that too, but I wonder if McCaffrey's prop is to score the first touchdown. I'm not seeing first touchdown anywhere. They usually have like first touchdown score. I'm not seeing it here though. I suppose they could still post it. Like it's still 8 days out. So yeah, I think I'd rather just wait for that because you might get a better number on that. Position to score first touchdown in the second half. So I'm just gonna skip these. Like these don't really interest me. Let's see here. Shortest touchdown score over 1.5 yards. Someone could sneak it in, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is just degenerate stuff as well. Mahomes 15. Yeah, I don't. You could that could be wrong. I have no idea, but I'll trust you on that. Took CMC Pacheco anytime touchdown +176. Yeah, that actually is pretty good. Yeah, that makes sense. I think like one of them one of them's definitely going to score. I think that strange first touchdown isn't up on FanDuel yet. It's up at every book in Vegas and has been available for a while now. Yeah, that's so weird. Like usually FanDuel has that stuff. I'm kind of surprised by it. Let's see here, scoring props. Either team to score first touchdown on their opening drive. Either teams +116. Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think someone mentioned that like the Niners have been automatic to score, and like the Chiefs with Andy Reid scripting plays is usually really good on the opening drive. So either team to score a touchdown on the opening drive +116 seems pretty good. Maybe you can get a better number elsewhere, but I think that is I think that's more likely to happen than not. Let's see. Game to be decided by exactly 3 points is 4.4-1. Again, yeah, it could happen, but like, it's going to happen 4.5 out of 1 times. I guess it could. I just don't really see a point in betting this. 7 is 7.6-1. Yeah, I don't think I'd bet one of these. I guess like the exactly by 3 at 4.4-1. I'd rather bet that than this one, the 77.6-1, because like 3 is so prevalent. Like I actually broke this down on the homepage. You actually find an article on like how often these margins hit. It's like NFL margin victory and point spreads. So in close games right here, spread is in the 0 to 2.5 range. 3 lands on 15.56% of the time. 7 lands on 10.37% of the time. So actually that number's bad. Like the 4.4-1, you would need something better than you need something about 6-1 for that to make sense. You're actually getting a bad number there. And for 7, you need 10-1, and you're only getting 7.6-1. So yeah, you're kind of getting ripped off here. So I wouldn't touch these now that I look at it. Let's see. Will Kansas City score more points in this first half or second half? Um, they've been mostly a first half team. I think I would take the first half if I had to. I'm not sure if I bet that, but and then San Francisco. I feel like San Francisco's been more of a second half team. Like they've had the comebacks against Green Bay and Detroit. So yeah, I think for the Chiefs, I take first half. San Francisco take second half less overtime. Team that scores first wins the game. Um, I've noticed that like teams that score first, like generally like I feel like they're almost 50-50 to win the game, really. So I think I'd take the no, if anything, but again, not gonna don't really see a reason to bet that. Um, Safety during a game is 12.6 to 1. That's something fun to root for, I guess. I don't know how often safeties hit. Will there be 2-point conversion? Yes, is plus 128. I can see that. I can see a 2-point conversion being. I mean, teams go for it a lot now these days. With if they're down 14, score a touchdown, like they're more likely to go for two. Um, so yeah, I think 128 seems pretty good. Will any quarter be scoreless? Yes, is plus 360. No, is minus 500. So here's the thing: like the Chiefs usually do most of their scoring in one half. It could either the first half or the second half, and like the other half, they don't do much. Um, so like plus 360 actually seems like really good. Because I'm willing to bet that the Chiefs have like one half that's just like doesn't have much scoring, and obviously the Niners could score in that in those quarters. But 3.6 to 1, it actually seems pretty good. So I think I'd take that. Both defenses are good, so this could easily be like a lower scoring Super Bowl. I think it could be like wouldn't surprise me if it's like 24-21 or a 21-17 or something like that. So yeah, yes, plus 360 is something that's going to interest me. High scoring quarter total points. Over is 19 and a half, under 19 and a half. Yeah, I think I'd go the under because, like I said, I think it's going to be a lower scoring Super Bowl than people think. Um, let's see, number of quarters won. I don't know. Unanswered scores. I know that I can't tell you how often this hits, but I know that there are like more Super Bowls than not. There are 3 unanswered scores, and I guess minus 176 is just like maybe that plays into it. But I know that there are 3 unanswered scores more often than not than Super Bowl. But I guess minus 176 is not a great number because of that. Surai says a lot of these props are playing Keno in Vegas, a ripoff. Yeah, I agree. It's just there are going to be some good ones, but like a lot of them are crap too, and a lot of people are going to bet them because it's the last time you're going to be able to bet football until the preseason of next year. So, Chiefs second half defense has been dominant, so I guess it depends who you like for the full game for that prop. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so too. Plus, the Chiefs don't score a lot either, so minus 176 seems high for 300 scores to me. Yeah, but like I said, I think it hits more often than people realize. So maybe it actually makes sense to bet it, but I'm not sure. Game props. Either team to score first on their either team to score on their first offensive plays, 30 to 1. Well, it could have that'll end pretty quickly. So I don't know if this is one of those degenerate things that I would not recommend, but if you want to have fun with it, go ahead. Last play to be QB Neal. I don't know. I don't know how to calculate that, but it seems like yes, but you have to pay minus 200, so it doesn't seem worth it. Team with most offensive plays in the game. I guess that's like the team that's playing from behind, right? Because they're going to be doing a lot in the second half. So, I guess Niners, but it's weird that there's a tie. Like you can like I'm gonna bet on the Niners and Chiefs to have the same number of plays. Like who does that? That's so weird. Fastest offensive ball carrier recorded. I don't. Do they actually record this stuff? That's so weird. I know they do like sometimes, but do they do that all the time? That's strange. Will the first play from scrimmage result in a first down? Again, like this is like garbage. Number of plays, Let's see. First team to convert a first down. Even money, minus 110 for both sides. I think I'd go with the Chiefs just because like Andy Reid is so good at scripting plays to begin, but again, not going to bet that one. What would happen first for the Chiefs? A punt or score points? I think I'd take those score points. And then the Niners, they're inverted. That's funny. I think I'd also take the score points, to be honest. Not that I was not being honest before. Will there be? I think we got to that. I think. Let's see. Who's betting result the first punt? Like, why do they even have that? It's so stupid. Let's see. Total first downs. It feels like these are mostly boring. Let's go to player props. I think Mahomes passing yards. What is his average for the year? Let's see. Mahomes' average for the year. Actually, they don't have the average, unfortunately. 4902. How many games has he played? He's played 16 regular season games because he didn't play the last one. Plus 3 playoff games. So Mahomes is averaging 258 passing yards per game. And so it's 262 and a half. It's pretty close to the average. I think I would take the under if I had to, but not in love with it. Passing touchdowns over 1.5. What has he done in the playoffs? He's had 1, 2, and 1. I feel like I think there's something to be said here about taking the under, because like I think people like I think this kind of like caters to bettors who haven't really been paying attention because it's the Super Bowl and people want to bet the Super Bowl. But like Mahomes' stats this year have been bad, and like it's not that like he's played poorly. It's just that his supporting cast has been like pretty underwhelming. And so I think I'd lean under on most of these passing numbers, just because like they're inflated. Like there's no reason the over 1.5 should be minus 140. Like I feel like these should be close to even. Like I said, like 1, 2, and 1 passing touchdowns in the playoffs. Like it feels like under makes the most sense. So that's actually something I might bet. Mahomes rushing yards over 25.5. As I said before, quarterbacks will run more in the playoffs. So he had 41 rushing yards in the first round, but he had 19 and 15. But he didn't have to run against Baltimore. Like they were well ahead in that game. Against Buffalo, I guess like you could argue it should have been higher, but I think I'm more likely to go over on his rushing yards and under on his passing yards. Brock Purdy passing yards is his average is the prop here is 245.5. The Chiefs are weaker to the run than the pass, so I think I'd go under here as well. But I don't like this as much as the Mahomes stuff. Passing touchdowns also 1.5. Kind of curious what Purdy has done for touchdowns in the playoffs. He's also gone 1, 1, and 2 in some order. So no, that's not a playoff game. So he's gone 1 touchdown. So I feel like it's funny that the over 1.5 is juiced up for this game. So I think I'd go under. I'd go under on both, and they're both plus, right? They're Mahomes is plus 114, and Purdy is plus 100. Like I feel like you're going to hit one of them, if not both. And so I think that's actually a good strategy to bet both unders. Okay, so yeah, and Purdy rushing yards we already talked about. Kelsey receiving yards 70.5. That's a high number, considering how bad he was in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he's gone for 116, 75, and 71. So 3-0 on the over at that number. I think he goes over as well. Like it feels like he's awakened in the playoffs. I don't know if he's like kind of sleepwalking through the regular season. Like he dropped so many passes, just looked like he was disinterested. For obvious reasons, he's distracted off the field. But like now it's the playoffs. I think like he's trying hard once again. So I'd go over on these. Debo Samuel. Actually, want to look at Debo and Ayuk at the same time. So Ayuk is 63.5. Debo is 57.5. So the question here is like, who is L'Jarius Sneed going to cover? L'Jarius Sneed is a great cornerback. He is it's funny. Just at 262.5 over under Purdy's draft position. It's funny. Um, just saying, does FanDuel have a prop that either team have a lead of 14 plus points? Seems to correlate with 300 answer scores. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I think that makes sense. So anyway, I was saying like, oh wait, interception props have Mahomes over a half juiced over and Purdy half juiced under. I like 49ers. Big fan to be fair, but this seems inverted to me. What do you think? So I mean, if you like the Niners for the game, I think Mahomes over interceptions makes sense. Just because like teams behind, they're going to be throwing a lot in the second half, and that tends to lend itself to have some interceptions. So yeah, I think if you think the Niners are going to win, I think betting Mahomes over interceptions makes sense. Let's see. So what I was saying before is like L'Jarius Sneed's a great corner. I don't know who he's going to be covering. I think it's Ayuk because he's more of a traditional receiver, whereas like Debo takes a lot of end arounds and whatnot. He's more of like obviously he does play like natural receiver stuff, but like he's used as a gadget player as well. So I think that Sneed will be on Ayuk. So with that in mind, I think I'd take Ayuk under and Samuel over. But that's it's a risk because what if Snead is on Samuel, you know? So I'd be careful with that, but that's how I would lean. And Kittle on Kittle's 47.5. I know he did very little in the NFC Championship game because he was blocking a lot. Kittle in the playoffs went for 81 and 27. I would go under, I think, because well, first of all, the Chiefs are really good against tight ends, and second, for 36 yards, something like that. So I think I would go under here. Christian McCaffrey, 90.5 rushing yards in the playoffs. He has gone for 90 and 98. So we're right there. But Kansas City's run defense, as Baltimore couldn't figure out, is pretty bad. So I think I'd go over. And also, if you like the Niners, I think it makes sense to go over because obviously he's going to run more if they're ahead. Receiving yards is 34.5. In the playoffs, he's gone for 42 and 30. So kind of makes sense it would be in the middle. So this is kind of like what you think the game flow is going to be. Like if you think that the Niners are going to win, it makes sense to bet McCaffrey over. If you think rushing yards, if you think the Niners will lose the game, then it makes sense to bet McCaffrey over receiving yards because they're going to dump the ball off to him a lot if they're behind. It's kind of like in like a quick 2-minute drill type fashion in the second half. So that's what I would do. Pacheco rushing yards is 67.5 in the playoffs. I feel like I'm going to like this over. Let's see. Even though I like the Niners for the game, I think I like the Niners for the game, but Pacheco in the playoffs, 89, 97, and 68. So 67.5 is the low. It would be the lowest rushing total. He runs so hard, and the Niners they're not that good against the run. They were 17th in run defense EPA. If you look at just like rushing yards for the regular season, it like you'll be like, oh, they haven't allowed a lot of rushing yards, and it's because like they've been like way ahead of so many bad teams that haven't been able to run the ball. It kind of reminds me of the Cowboys. Like remember Aaron Jones ran all over them in the opening round of the playoffs, which was like a surprise if you look at their seasonal stats. But Dallas just wasn't good against the run metrics wise. They just like were way ahead of bad teams. That's kind of like what the Niners were. So I think like Pacheco should be able to have some success on the ground. 67.5 seems very doable. He's such a tough runner. I feel like he can pick up like yards after contact a lot, and I think he gets there. I think this is pretty good. I think 67.5. MVP is let's see. So we have a bunch here. So I think like if you think the Chiefs are going to win, I wouldn't bet Mahomes because I feel like people have voting fatigue with him. Like he's won last year. He won Super Bowl MVP and regular season MVP. Like, are they going to give that to him again? I obviously could happen for sure, but I think Travis Kelsey 17-1 makes a lot more sense. Um, plus like, the whole stupid narrative, like, well, Kelsey proposed to Taylor Swift, like the whole dumb thing. So like Kelsey's been in the media a lot, and like Kelsey's had a great playoff run. If Mahomes throws 2 touchdowns, they're both to Kelsey, I'm willing to bet that Kelsey takes it. So I think I'd go that route. Although I'm looking like Chris Jones at 140-1, and I'm kind of intrigued because he's so good, and the interior of the Niners offensive line is not that good. Feels like Chris Jones could dominate. Like, what if he has like a Von Miller type of performance, like in that Broncos Panthers Super Bowl? Like, I could see Chris Jones taking it 140-1. I think that's worth like a $10 bet or something like that. Pacheco 35-1 seems okay. For the 49ers, I feel like Brock Purdy would win it because like he's Mr. Irrelevant beating Mahomes. I think that like I don't know. I feel like it's either Purdy or McCaffrey, because either McCaffrey scores all the touchdowns or Purdy leads a comeback and scores at the end, and they give it to him. I don't know. Maybe Nick Bosa gets there with the huge game, but I think Purdy if the Niners win. So 2-1 doesn't seem great, but like really, if you bet both Purdy and McCaffrey and you're confident the Niners going to win, like I feel like you're going to win, but one of them, Okay. What else do we have? We have player matchups. I feel like we discussed these. Like I don't know. We talked about them. We talked about the players already. Passing props. I think. I don't know. I feel like this is like more of the same. I don't think this is like anything new that we're going to talk about. Let's see, special teams. There's Super Bowl 2025. I already talked about it. I like the Bears at 40-1. It seems crazy to me. Like the Bears and the Vikings have the same odds, whereas like the Bears are in such a better position right now. The Vikings are like they could like if they get Kirk Cousins back, they could still be a good team. But the Bears seem like they're going to be on another level. Anyway, open kickoff return touchdown. I wonder what that is. It's 100-1. Again, like if you want to just gamble, it's going to be a kneel down probably or a touchback. So I would not bet that, but if you're degenerate, go ahead. Total sacks 4.5. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't really see anything here. So pick 6 is 5.2-1. Yeah, I mean, this could happen. Team like these are 2 good quarterbacks. Obviously, they're in the Super Bowl, but I've seen some pick 6s in the Super Bowl for sure. And like if the team's behind, they're desperate, they're going to try something. Plus 520 doesn't seem that bad for a pick 6. I'm sure you could crush the numbers and like figure out how many pick 6s there've been in the Super Bowl. I know that there were 2 in the Raiders Buccaneers Super Bowl in 2002. That comes to mind. But yeah, I wonder how many pick 6s there have been in the Super Bowl, and like you could probably do the numbers and see if that makes sense if you really want to bet that. Let's see comments here. In 2022 Chiefs 49ers game, Mahomes had 0 rushing yards. Kelsey had 6 for 98. I see what you're saying there, but like the Chiefs are well ahead in that game, so Mahomes didn't have to run, and it was a regular season game. So the rushing yards for quarterbacks definitely rise in the playoffs because like everything's on the line. So like regular season, they're gonna be careful. But in the playoffs, they're just gonna go all out. So, but I do like the Mahomes, the Kelsey 6 for 98. I think that's a good number. So 2020 Super Bowl versus Niners, Mahomes went 9 for 29, 1 touchdown. Yeah, I think that's like a good projection for his rushing numbers. I think that could certainly happen. I don't know if he's going to get the touchdown, but like you said, he is due, right? So plus 350 seems pretty good. Lost a lot of yards and taking knees at the end too. Yeah. You get that as well. That's the most tilting thing. I lost a bet this year on quarterback over rushing yards because of some kneel downs. I know this happened to a lot of people too. I was able to benefit though. It was I think it was the Saints. It was maybe it was Saints Jaguars Thursday night game. I cashed in because like when I play DFS, I usually do one entry in like the single entry, like usually the spy, which is like $100 entry, and then like I'll throw it into the millie. Um, my I played a showdown, one showdown lineup that in that game, and I was not cashing until the final play of the game because whichever quarterback, I think it was Trevor Lawrence, is kneeling down. He kneeled down 3 times, and the third kneel down got me to cash to the cash line. It's just funny. It's like, yeah, I was hurt by that, and I was able to benefit from that too. So it's funny how that works out. Hopefully, for those listening, I hope it works out for you guys. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now. I think I went over most of these. So found some stuff that we like that I may put on the site. I'll definitely talk about it with Jacob on Tuesday and Tom on Thursday, and then again on Saturday next week. So thanks so much, guys, for watching and listening, commenting. I really appreciate it. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that mean a lot to us, especially the subscriptions. So yeah, please help us get to 4,000. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we will be back on Tuesday with Jacob, and I'll have my official pick by then. Like I said, I'm leaning towards San Francisco, but I'm going to do a lot of research tomorrow night, plus Monday night, and just make sure I like the Niners enough to make a bet on them. Plus, I don't know what the unit count will be yet, but it's not going to be like pick of the month territory. I just don't see the value that like we had in that Lions Niners game, but it might be like 3 or 4 units or something like that, or maybe a little bit less. So yeah, I'll definitely let you know for sure. Just saying bang bang baby, see you Tuesday. Yeah, guys, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great Sunday and beginning of the week next week, and I'll talk to you